Germany, and I'm happy to be here tonight as your host. In time check, we have 7:58 p.m. Central European Time, and our topic for today is a very interesting one, which is about the work-life balance. And we will get right into our topic tonight. So let's ask with the help of Kuya Tech to please show us the answer. Hello, Sister Carla.
Hello, Sister Frances. Hello, everyone, brothers and sisters. My name is Sister Carla Cantara Vigand. I'm coming from the local of Munich, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me. And I hope I'll be able to contribute some knowledge, some insights about this topic of work life balance. Happy to be here.
We're also very happy that you're here with us tonight, Sister Carla, and we're very excited to hear about your insights on our topic tonight. And of course, we have invited also our dear minister, Brother Scott. Hello, po, Brother Scott.
Hello, goedenavond, goedemorgen, goedemiddag. I am Brother Scott. Good evening and good day to everyone. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being with us also, Brother Scott. And yes, so we will get right into our first segment, which is, of course, our icebreaker game. And for that, we have prepared um, a slide. So maybe ask with the help of Kuya Tech to please show us what icebreaker game we will have. So the game that we will have for tonight is Balancing Act What Would You Do? So, how we play this game is that it presents participants with everyday scenarios in which they have to choose between work and leisure. It encourages them to reflect on and improve their own work life balance. And for that, we have three situations, and we have to choose, like we have mentioned, which answer fits best to the scenario. And for our first slide, we have situation number one. So, your colleague calls you after work hours to discuss an important task. At the same time, you have a dinner appointment with a friend. So, what would you do? A. Answer the call and postpone your dinner. B. Decline the call and meet your friend as planned. Or C. Try to balance both by quickly answering the call and then going to dinner. Okay. Of course, our viewers and listeners, for those who are watching us live from our YouTube channel, you can also participate and also write down your answers in the YouTube um, chat box. And we will also, of course, read them out. So let's ask Sister Carla, which answer do you uh, think fits best for our situation number one?
Um, for me, if this happens, and it usually happens, also over the weekend or yeah, during lunch break, I would still take the call, definitely, and I would politely inform the caller that I am not available at the moment, but just leave a text message, and then I will get back as soon as I'm back at work. So at least he or she feels that they were attended to. And at the same time, I also put a limit that, sorry, but this is a time where I am unavailable. And then, of course, I stick to my commitment. At the soonest possible time, I do the return call or drop them an email.
Okay, that is a very great answer, Sister Carla. So let's see what the answer is for our situation number one. Let's ask Kuyatek to please show us the answer. Okay, so the answers is you often prioritize work over personal time. You either B, prioritize your personal life and know when to set boundaries, or C, you try to balance both but may feel stretched at times. Oh, okay. So we have um, the answers to all of the three boxes. So, like Sister Carla has mentioned, which was also a very good point, explain to your colleague or worker that this is my time for me, a break, which is still a very good answer as well for those, um, yeah, who try to, I would say, um, try to also help both either work or having lunch. I would say um, those were the good answers that we can possibly do in those situations. Okay, moving on to the second situation, we have um, situation number two. And for that, we have you've been asked to take on an additional task at work, but it's your family member's birthday celebration in the evening. So, A, we have accept the extra task and skip the family gathering. B, decline the extra work to spend time with your family. Or we have C, ask if you can manage both by completing the task early and joining the celebration after. Okay, so for those three situations, let's ask Brother Kuyatek to please show us the answer. Okay, so what are the answers to those um, three? Okay, to the situation number two. Okay, so A, we have you are highly committed to work, sometimes at the expense of personal events. B, you value family time and are comfortable declining extra work when needed. Or C, you seek compromise, aiming to fulfill both personal and work obligations. So let's ask Sister Carla, which one of these answers would you choose?
It's really not easy at face value, because if it's a really, really important um, task and nobody else is able to do it, then I think I would choose letter C, and I will accept it. But I would say, okay, but I'm only available until this time. So if I can work on it at a much earlier time so that I'm still able to attend to my family obligations, that's what I would do. But again, communication as well. If there's any other person who I can delegate this task to, or maybe have a compromise and say, okay, is this really needed today? Because if it's possible to do it tomorrow, then I would prioritize my family time.
Okay, thank you for sharing that with us, Sister Carla. Let's also have insight what uh, Brother Scott would answer. So, Kriyatek, could you please show the answers? Would you agree with Sister Carla, Brother Scott? So she chose yes. So here are the answers to situation number two. Which one would you choose, Casco?
Well, of course, we all know we are faced with different kind of situations, and we have priorities. Okay, but we also like to make everybody happy. Um, I know depending, of course, there are those who have they would ask, okay, I'll finish the work early, but is there a compensation? Will I get anything from it? Then hopefully we juggle that between, your gathering or whatever appointment you would have. But it's always a challenge, especially it depends on the situation. It could also be depend on the weather and what you could actually handle physically. Because there are those who could possibly make it happen, but also there are those who couldn't, so or who would not be able to make it. But I would say C would also be an option. But just for me, I mean, everybody has their different preferences, right?
Yes, I agree with that, Brother Scott. So thank you for answering for the situation number two. And lastly, we will have our third situation. So let's ask Kriatek to please show us the situation. Okay, so we have for situation number three, it's the weekend and you're feeling mentally drained. You have some leftover work to finish, but you also really need to rest. So, A, would you push through and finish the work and rest later? Take the weekend off to recharge. Or C, set aside a couple of hours to work and spend the rest of the day relaxing. Okay, let's show the answers to those three. Kiatek, please. Okay, I think those also varies um, in what people or what some might choose. So we have for situation number three the answers. A, you push yourself to complete tasks, even at the cost of rest. B, you recognize the importance of rest and prioritize self care. Or C, you also try to balance work and rest but might still find it challenging. Oh, okay. This is also, um, I would say, it varies. What would you choose, Sister Carla?
This is a very interesting question, Sister Frances, because it happened this weekend. I really had a lot of unfinished tasks, maybe three or four Friday night, and I really had to shut down already. So I'm guilty of that. So I did dedicate 2 hours a while ago after lunch to finish the emails. But I made sure that yesterday I did a lot of things not related to work. So I think I was mentally recharged, mentally energized. But unfortunately, there really are times when, yeah, I still have to work a little bit over the weekend. But I try to compensate for it during the rest of the period, the weekend.
That's very good, Sister Carla. Yes, I can only agree with that. There are days where you also have a lot of things to do, but you won't be able to really finish it because you're also might be drained from all of the work that you have to do, right? So it's good that you also took your time and um, to to yes took a break, or I would say doing it on another day, finishing your task, which
Yeah.
is also very important.
I think it's also, if I may just add, Sister Frances, um, being a member of the Church of Christ, we also have our obligations for worship services, which are not really done by our other colleagues who are not members. So in these cases, I'm more flexible because I have my set schedule for worship services, and because of this for me is something I cannot compromise. If it's time for worship, then I shut down my laptop and I go to worship. And so the consequence there is sometimes there's work that's not yet done, and I would happily do it at another time, because so this is something I would happily do just so I would be able to fulfill my duty of worshiping. It's not an issue.
Yes, that's very important, Sister Carla, and thanks for mentioning that. I think everyone can agree to that, especially if you have duties inside the church that we put, yes, our duties and our obligations that we have to do inside the church first and prioritize that, right? And that work, yeah, if we're able to do it, still do it at another time, but to know when we should prioritize our worship to God. Thank you for mentioning that, Sister Carla. So, yes, this was our icebreaker game, and I believe we have gotten a bit into our topic about work life balance, and we're happy to hear more about what Sister Carla has to say about our topic, which is work life balance for those who have just tuned in. So, let's get right into our um, topic conversation and ask for Sister Carla. Um, yes, you work as a what is your work, Sister Carla? For those who are maybe interested to know what you're doing.
Thanks for the question, Sister Francis. Um, I have been in the hospitality and travel industry for the past 25 years. And right now, our company and my job is really with business development, where we promote, we conduct sales and marketing for hotels and resorts that would like to have more bookings from, let's say, from the German speaking markets. So, for example, if there's a resort in the Maldives or there's a resort in Bali who would like to have more German guests, German bookings. So, we have a team who takes care of promoting these hotels to tour operators and travel agencies so that when the German speaking markets travel to Bali or to Maldives, then they would stay in the resorts and the hotels that hired us for representation. In a nutshell, that's what we do. That's what I do with my business.
Okay, very interesting to know, Sister Carla. So you also have a lot to do with clients, right? So I
Yes.
believe you have a lot of requests and assignments. So let's get right into it. So can you tell us, how do you personally define work-life balance?
I think, Sister Frances, that work life balance is a concept that was really developed and encouraged for working individuals to find fulfillment, not just in their workplace, but also with their personal lives. For me, I think this is only possible if you have discipline, and discipline means setting targets and goals in your workplace, and then making sure that you try your best to achieve these goals, but at the same time making sure as well that you are not overwhelmed and that your whole life is not governed only with what you do for work, because outside the 8 hours of work that we do every day, we also have our family, we also have our friends, our relatives, we also have our own self care needs that we need to do, emotionally, mentally. These are also things that we need to take care of, and of course, spiritually. So I don't think anybody will be fulfilled if it's only just the career that he or she is invested in, and there has to be a balance because there's life outside your work.
Yes, that's very true, Sister Carla. So you have mentioned that discipline is very important, setting your targets and goals and trying your best to achieve it, which I can only agree to. And at the same time, that you're also not feeling overwhelmed by work, right? So also really have that balance between work and life. So, can you tell us, how do you typically then manage your work responsibilities with your personal life?
A typical day for me would always, okay, so yeah, you prepare yourself for your workplace because I work from home. Um, Majority of the time, 3 days a week, I'm always at home, although I still go to the office once or twice a week. So for me, I always start the day with a prayer before I even open my laptop. And this is something that has helped me a lot, also with managing stress, asking for guidance during the day, asking for wisdom, and also for me to avoid any mistakes with my work. And then after that, when I start my work, I'm a person that's very big on to do lists. So I really list down all the things I need to do. And one thing I've learned is also to differentiate what is urgent versus what is important. And for me, doing the urgent things first is, yeah, this really helps me with my work day. And taking into consideration those that are important but not urgent, then I don't stress myself out. So I could put that in number two. But making a list and finding pleasure at the end of the day to scratch it out. Done, done, done. This is for me something fulfilling, and it's a sense of achievement. So, yeah, that's what I usually do for me to have this work life and still time outside of work to do personal things.
Yes, I can only agree with you, Sister Carla. Very interesting that you have mentioned um, that for some might not or haven't implemented that, but trying to do a to-do list, right? Starting a to-do list at the morning or in the morning. What do I have to do? What are my urgent matters and what are the important matters, right? That you differentiate about that, and that you also, um, right, um, that you also especially set goals, right? So what do I have to achieve for that day? Knowing that you have achieved something, you can also scratch it out, which is also um, for you seeing that, oh, okay, I have achieved this throughout my day. Then I know, okay, for what I have not achieved, I can move it to the next day, right?
Correct.
Just having an overview,
Exactly.
just
Yes.
having an overview. Okay, what have I achieved?
Hmm.
What still need to be done, right? So thank you for sharing that with us, and especially you have mentioned not to forget that you most importantly start your day with a prayer, which I think should be the number one um, to
Agree.
do for you to start your day, seeking God um, to help you to guide you throughout your day, right? And we should especially do that as members of the Church of Christ to um, ask
Right.
God for guidance, that He will help us, and that will also give you the assurance that you can go through your workday. I would say, especially when you're feeling overwhelmed. What you have mentioned, also, Sister
Yes.
Carla.
It's a very comforting knowledge that you're being guided, and that no matter what happens, whatever challenges you will be facing for that day, you will be fine because you have guidance.
Yes, I can I can only agree with that, Sister Carla. Thank you for yeah, sharing that with us. So, for those who might feel stressed throughout the day, it's really important that we should always start our day with a prayer. And that will also give us the calmness, I would say, knowing that we have guidance, as Sister Carla has mentioned. And yes, moving on, Sister Carla, you also have mentioned that um, you work in the travel industry, right? So there are a lot of tasks that you have to do, assignments to meet.
Mhm.
And so, can you tell us how do you prioritize your tasks, especially when you feel overwhelmed by work?
I think being overwhelmed with work is a natural emotion. I think everybody who has started to work for a living at one point may have felt um, stressed or even burnt out. I think that's the extreme sense of being stressed, and we try our best not to be burnt out, because once you're burnt out, then you're no longer effective, then you're no longer able to deliver. What I believe is important is always, as I mentioned, setting goals, but also communication. Communication with your bosses, or if you are the manager, communication with the people who are reporting to you, and really being able to discuss where you are with a certain task. And if you are being overwhelmed, if you think that you're not able to meet the deadline, for example, I think it's important to raise your hand and ask for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help, telling your boss, this is not working, or I'm not able to deliver what you need. Can we please have a meeting just to brainstorm? So, this is one thing. And I also encourage my staff to do this. having a two-way communication and consistently, so that we don't wait until it's a deadline or past the deadline and nobody is talking, um, and then deadline is already done. So we try to avoid it. We try to be proactive rather than reactive. So that's in the workplace. And for me, another way, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, is I take breaks. I have a dog, so I take a 30-minute break to walk the dog. Um, I also take lunch as a break. So as much as possible, I try to prepare healthy lunches for me and my husband, because I think that work life balance, the life side, is also taking care of your body. So you cannot always be sitting 8 hours in front of a laptop like this. You have to move, you have to get up, maybe listen to some music. Um, and over the weekend, read a book, read something which is out of what you're working, and just relaxing your mind and focusing on other things outside of work. Those are the things that I would do, Sister Francis.
Yeah, so you have mentioned many aspects, Sister Carla, which is very great, and also very true. So, when you feel overwhelmed, like you have mentioned, it's important to have that communication with your colleagues at work so that they are aware of how you are feeling, right? That they might also support you, might jump in and take that task from you just to feel, just for you to feel, yeah, I would say not too overwhelmed by all of the tasks that you still have to manage for that day, right?
Correct.
And also have that communication with your boss. So it's very important to have that teamwork, I would say, in that in at your work, to have good communication with each other, knowing when to jump in, when to help that person out, right? And also to take breaks, as you have
Yes.
mentioned, right? You're also working from home. Um, and you also take that time to go out, to take a break, also
Mhm.
to go out for a walk with your dog, which can also help you actually have a fresh mind again, have that fresh air, knowing, okay, I need this right now, to really calm yourself down when you know it's too overwhelming at work, right? So,
Right.
which is very great that you have mentioned. Um, yes, Sister Carla. Thank you for sharing that with us. And of course, we would like to know what time management techniques work best for you in maintaining a balance between work and also personal life.
Sister Francis, I think time management is really important. If you have very poor time management skills, then this will also impact negatively the work life balance that you want to achieve. Personally, for me, I cannot speak for everyone, like what Brother Scott a while ago mentioned. You know, we all have our own preferences with how we do things. But for me, I'm not a fan of multitasking. I understand the reason why multitasking was introduced with new technologies, and you really have everything at your fingertips and you can do a lot of things at the same time. And for some people, this might work. But for me, I go by the rule of doing it right the first time. So it takes a bit longer, um, but I'm able to proofread and to review what I have done. And for me, this lessens the time which, if I see mistakes, I avoid mistakes, and there's not just efficiency, but also I'm saving my time and the time of my boss, the time of my clients. So I'm a bit of a slow person when it comes to that. Um, but yes, it works for me.
I can only agree with you, Sister Carla, because I feel the same way, and that's how I also do it at work. Actually, I also work in the travel industry, and I have to also um, yeah, make requests or also book, I would say,
Mhm.
flights for our business travel partners, and um, being in or having those tasks where you have to yeah, I would say do everything in order and also correct, right? You That's where it also has to be done correctly for me. I'm also like you, Sister Carla, taking a bit longer, but knowing that everything is correct, and um, I have done it in a good, I would say, or I have done it correctly. There are no mistakes,
Right.
um, right? Um,
There's
yeah, it
quality
saves.
control, right?
Yes, it also helps you to save time. I would say, like you have
Mhm.
mentioned, that you um, yes, helps you to save time. If you have other tasks to do, right, you can move on to the next one, knowing, okay, I have done this, I move on, knowing, okay, I saved up time, and that's how I also do it. And it's very great to hear that you're also that type of person, Sister Carla, working at a slower pace, better to get things done correctly, and doing lesser mistakes, right? Thank you for sharing that
Thank
with us.
you. You're
And
welcome, sister.
can you also tell us, especially also working from home,
Mhm.
um, right? So, how do you involve your family in maintaining also a healthy work-life balance?
Oh, okay. This is an interesting question because it just so happens that my husband and we both work in the same industry. And so here we are blessed because we can really synergize our work together, and we understand each other's um, stress levels or deliverables or our goals. But I think for any couple, it doesn't really matter if you're in the same industry. You know, the husband can be in the banking industry, the wife can be in food manufacturing. But I think there has to be open communication about what your goals are personally. Um, there would be wives who would want to be a manager, who would want to have a higher position. And this is only normal. But I think all of these should be discussed between husband and wife so that the husband and wife will also support each other, especially if there are times when you have longer work hours. Would be nice to come home to a partner, to a husband who understands and supports you. But at the same time, a husband who would also say, okay, I think this is enough for today. Maybe we can have, some a nice dinner or a short break or maybe a date. And it's the same with having children. My two sons are already grown ups. They're adults. So it's really difficult now to plan anything, getting together. So again, communication is key and compromising. So if my two sons are only available during these dates, and then I would say, okay, then I take a leave for this day so that we can be complete as a family, and then I just make up for it at another day. So it's also knowing your priorities because, like I said, you don't live in a vacuum of your work. You also have your family, you have your relatives, your friends, your social life. But what's important is communicating with each other and making time, making memories. And when you're doing that, you really have to stay away from your phone. That's why I don't have my emails from my phone. That's another thing. I only have Skype, um, WhatsApp, and there are so many other now. In Asia. They're using Viber. In China, they're using something else. In the Middle
Yeah,
East, also something else. So okay, I put all of that on my phone, but no emails. I really do not want to check emails on my phone so that I'm not tempted. So quality time with my family.
Yes, that's very important, Sister Carla. Having that family time, right, outside of work, because many tend to forget that you still have a life out of work, and that your life doesn't only revolve around work, which is what very important that to know, especially if you also have a family, right? To make time for them, to also make memories, like you have mentioned, and to also to click off. I would say in German you say, dass man einmal ausschaltet, right? Which is very important to know that okay. Yes, my family needs me. I want to also spend time with them, to
Mhm.
also prioritize what you have mentioned, which is very important, right? And especially to also have the support of your family, right, Sister Carla? And yes, so that is a very good aspect that you have mentioned. And for those who um, might have a lot of work to do, or um, have a job that, yes, so it's very important. And um, yeah, you have to, I would say, um, yeah, check on your emails and stuff outside of work. Just know that there are working hours for you at work, and also time for your private life, to also differentiate that, right?
Correct.
For me,
Correct.
I personally have our yeah, mails on my phone, which I shouldn't have, like you have mentioned. It's actually good to not have it. So um, I have to keep that in mind to also, yeah, not check on the mails. I mean, it's not wrong to do so, right? But I think sometimes it gives you the urge, oh, okay, what
Right.
tasks do I have to do? But
Yes.
I think it's also good to just really shut down when you have family time, personal time, right? To prioritize what you have to do, like you have
Right.
mentioned. Yes, thank you, Sister Carla. And of course, you have many comments to read out. I see in our YouTube live chat everyone is engaging. So let's start and read out some comments. So we have from Brother Brad Takushi: work life balance, work during the day, exercise during lunch break, and family time after work. Hashtag Heidelberg Cluster. And then we have from Brother Henry: urgent and important matrix in the USA. We call this the Eisenhower matrix. Hashtag Heidelberg, hashtag Kaiserslautern. And then we have from Sister Nina: it's hard to pull all of our attention only to one specific thing. Checklists also help me with things I need to get done, especially as a stay at home mom. Hashtag Rotterdam. Thank you for sharing that with us, Sister Nina. And then we also have from Sister Gladjane: hospitality industry is indeed very hands-on, and maintaining a good work-life balance is crucial for both personal well-being and professional performance. Happy viewing to all. Shout out to you, Sister Gladjane. And then we also have from Sister Rachel: using a to-do list is helpful, setting aside time to do errands throughout the week, along with time management and self-care. Most of the time we get so busy and need time to de-stress. I can only agree with you, Sister Rachel. And then shout out to Sister Irene, who commented, communicating or communication is the key. Hashtag Berlin. And then we have another comment from Sister Nina again. To be mentally and physically healthy is also a key to be able to finish your tasks at work or have me time as a stay at home mom. Taking a breather is a must for me. Hashtag Rotterdam. Yes, I can only agree with you, Sister Nina. Also, taking care of your mental health, right? And also of your physical health is also very important as well, that we have to look out for. And then we also have another comment from Sister Shahani. The equation work more, sleep less is somewhat outdated for a better life work balance. Work smart, not long. This involves great prioritization to be efficient and to be more productive. Very true, Sister Shahani. Hashtag Netherlands. We will read out some more comments later on, but thank you for sharing already with us how you feel about our topic about work life balance. And yes, we will read some comments out again later. But for now, we will go on a short station break.
This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Hello, brethren on board. I am your mommy, Maylin Bernice. Apart from being a mom, I am also an incoming senior college student majoring in accounting this fall. And I am a deaconess in the local congregation of Las Vegas District of Mountain States.
I will be one of the hosts dito sa ating bagong programa. Samahan kami as we pursue self-development. It will be Monday to Friday, 10 p.m. Philippine time. We'll be sharing tips and stories about balancing life's challenges that will motivate all of us to pursue growth.
So, paano? Keep it here?
Handa na ba kayong makilala at makakwentuhan? Alamin ang kanilang mga latest activities, mga angking talento, at inspiring stories. Mula sa mga kapatid nating nasa Scan International sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. Ito ang Scan in Action!
Hello and welcome back to INCRadio Central Europe Satellite Studio. And time check, we have 8:40 p.m. Central European Time. And for those who have just tuned in, our topic for today is work-life balance. And yes, we have invited Sister Carla with us and also Brother Scott. But before we continue with our topic conversation, we would like to introduce to you our favorite segment, which is German is Fun or Deutsch macht Spaß with Kamalu. Have fun!
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
Hello zusammen. Hello everyone. Welcome to German is Fun. Willkommen zu Deutsch macht Spaß. I'm Sister Malu Francisco inviting you to another episode of Fun Basic German. Great that you are there with us again. Schön, dass ihr dabei seid.
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
Our topic for today, tourist attractions or landmarks. You'll be learning some words and phrases that have to do with tourist attractions or sites that you see when you go on a city tour or on a holiday tour. First, I'll say the words in English, then the German equivalents. All you have to do is listen, repeat, and have fun, of course.
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
First word for today, tourist attraction or landmark. Auf Deutsch, die Sehenswürdigkeit. 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 Tourist attractions, die Sehenswürdigkeiten. Die Sehenswürdigkeiten. Die Sehenswürdigkeiten. Gate, das Tor. Das Tor. Gates, die Tore. Die Tore. Was ist das? Das ist ein Tor. Das Brandenburger Tor. Noch einmal. Was ist das? What is that? Das ist ein Tor. That's a gate. das Brandenburger Tor. Castle, auf Deutsch das Schloss, das Schloss. Castles, die Schlösser, die Schlösser. Das ist das Schloss Heidelberg. Was ist das? Das ist ein Schloss. Das ist das Heidelberger Schloss oder das Schloss Heidelberg. Noch einmal, once again, was ist das? Das ist ein Schloss, das Heidelberger Schloss.
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
Our next word, Colosseum. Colosseum. Auf Deutsch, there's only one form for singular and plural, and that is das Kolosseum, which is also called das Amphitheater. Was ist das? Das ist ein Kolosseum oder Amphitheater. Das Kolosseum von Rom. Das Kolosseum von Rom. Let's go to our last word for today. Tower, der Turm, der Turm. Towers, die Türme, die Türme. Here are two pictures of well-known towers. The Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy. Another famous tower is the Eiffel Tower in Paris. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, auf Deutsch we say, der schiefe Turm von Pisa. Was ist das? Das ist ein Turm, der schiefe Turm von Pisa. Was ist das? Das ist ein Turm. Was ist das? Das ist ein Turm. Das ist der Eiffelturm in Paris.
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
This has been today's episode of German is Fun, Deutsch macht Spaß. I hope you had a lot of fun joining us today, as I had much fun bringing another episode of Deutsch macht Spaß. Till next time, bis zum nächsten Mal. Ich bin Schwester Malu Francisco saying vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen. Tschüss!
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
Hello and welcome back into INCRadio Central Europe Satellite Studio. And this was German is Fun or Deutsch macht Spaß with Kamalu. Thank you so much, Kamalu, for teaching us about the Sehenswürdigkeiten. And we hope that those who are still in the process of learning some German, that you have gained more knowledge about the German language. And yes, so moving on to our next segment, we have our CEU in action. Let's ask Kwiatek to please show us the intro. Okay, for our CEU in action, we have invited our dear minister, Brother Scott Augustine. Hello, Paul Brother.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, and we welcome you to this portion of our presentation. We hope that you got a lot of tips from our sister, Carla. Good job, sister, with regards to advising, especially our young brethren who are already in the workforce and still balancing that. And we'd like to ask the support of our Kuya Tech with regards to our pictures that we have. Actually, there were some different activities. Um, Special gathering of the technical support for video streaming. This is an activity led by our district supervising minister in the local congregation of Berlin, Germany. And here you could see the led by our minister in charge of the offices here in the District of Central Europe, the oath taking of our brethren, not only with knowledge and wisdom about technology, but to also make sure that we are in connection, not only with one another, but whenever special activities happen in our life. We know being as an officer, it's very important. And we also would like to, for the next one, is welcome kapatid ko, or welcome my brethren. This is where we, members of the Church of Christ, invite our friends and loved ones, our neighbors, to share a moment of time with us and also share in what we do as members of the Church of Christ. And uniquely, you could see the brethren not only being inspired, but also showing that becoming a member of the Church of Christ is a blessing coming from God. And this is where we can find peace, as busy life could be. And this is where we could find the perfect balance. And also, we continue in the works of propagation. And this is our missionary work in the sharing of our faith. We all know it is very important that here in the local congregation of Frankfurt City in Germany, our brethren continue to do their part in inviting their friends and loved ones in activities like this. It is very important for us to take part, that we could be able to be of help to everyone, especially in our community here in the local congregation of Frankfurt, in the city of Carbon, particularly in All Carbon. And here, our brethren in the local congregation of Bonn, in their house of worship, as the brethren are always united. And here, in the local congregation of Rotterdam, actually, the brethren in the whole Netherlands, with the help and mercy of God, were able to support it. They traveled from the different parts of the country. Here, in the local congregation of Heidelberg, Germany, our brethren there, although in different parts of that area, they united in the sharing of their faith. And here in the local congregation of Dortmund, led by their minister worker, as we could see, beloved brethren, it is very important for us to take part in the sharing of our faith, that we could be able to shine as lights of the world and making sure that we are fruitful only with the help and mercy of the Almighty God. And we hope that we are looking forward not only as we end another month in our life, but also starting already soon another month in of our life. And we thank you once again, brethren, for your unity and support in all activities launched by the church administration. Sister Francis?
Thank you, Brother Scott, for sharing with us about the recently held activities here in the District of Central Europe. And we're happy to see that all of the brethren in our district are united in all of the activities. So, moving on to our topic conversation, we have Sister Carla, one last question to ask you that we are eager to know. So, would you like to tell us, how do you plan to maintain or improve your work life balance in the future?
Thanks for the question, Sister Francis. Um, the the tips and that I shared a while ago, how I manage my day, they actually work for me. So I believe I will be continuing um, with these practices, such as goal setting, task listing, which some of our brethren also shared and agreed with when they were sending us their messages. Um, but I think moving forward, I think anybody who would really want to achieve this work life balance should also have a mindset that is work does not define you. Work is a part of you, but it shouldn't define you as a person. I believe in the value of working hard and being committed to whatever work you are doing at the moment. And I appreciate people who are like that. But at the same time, we also have to remember that our lives are bigger than our work. And when I say this, there are other things that are more important or as important as work. And needless to say, these are the personal relationships we have. that we should continue to nurture, um, and being conscious in making the time to nurture these relationships to enrich your life, because you may be the most successful in your career, but this does not really spell happiness. And so that's one thing. The other thing, moving forward, for me, what really helps is having a positive attitude. There will always be challenges. There will always be frustrating days. There will always be days where you feel that, oh, I didn't really achieve everything I wanted to do. But being positive is a choice, and you always have the next day to do better. And I think with this mix of having the positive attitude and also being driven and hardworking, and also understanding that you are bigger than your work, hopefully will provide us with mental stability, social happiness, and really this balance that we all want in our lives.
Thank you so much, Sister Carla, for sharing that with us. And also, um, very well said and very true what you have mentioned. Tonight in our broadcast, and we're very happy to see you in our next upcoming broadcast as well, to have your insights and also experiences.
Thank you, Sister Frances. Very happy to share
And
these
also,
insights.
thank you so
Thank you as well,
thank you so much.
Emily.
And also, we would like to thank Brother Scott for also being with us here tonight. And of course, um, we would like to announce the winners of the challenge from last week. So let's ask Tech to please show us who won the challenge from last week.
Third place, Berlin Cluster. Second place, Netherlands Cluster. First place, Heidelberg Cluster.
The clusters who have won the last week's challenge, especially to our cluster number one, Heidelberg cluster for winning first place in our challenge from last week. And for those who have not won last week's challenge, you have the chance to win, of course, this week's challenge. And we will announce the winners next week. Okay, so congratulations to all of the clusters. And now we have our shout out time. And for that, we would like to thank our dear panelists for joining us this evening. Again, thank you so much, Sister Carla and Brother Scott, for being with us here tonight, as well as our dear viewers and listeners for watching and also tuning in to our broadcast. Also, thank you to our District CFO Advisor, Brother Scott Augustine, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Jason Dulalas, and also thank you to our District Minister, Brother Joel B. Catalan. We would also like to say thank you to our CFO coordinator and CEBSI president, Brother Angelo Eranio Manalo. And most importantly, we would like to thank the church administration and our beloved executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see each other next week. Bye.